say this, but we worry when we don't have the revelation of the problem to God size ratio. It's a very theological way of saying that. We worry when we don't have a good revelation of the problem to God size ratio. In other words, let me say it like this. A lot of us who would say that we're Christians, a lot of us have a really nice, safe, teeny tiny pocket-sized God. If you worry, let me say it like this. If you worry, your God's too small. If you're living a life of worry, I don't know about this, I don't know about the bills, I don't know about the relationships, I don't know about my marriage, I don't know about my future, what about my past? If you're worrying about these things, your God is too small. And when we don't have a good perspective on the size of our problem compared to the size of our God, we will worry. When your mountain is bigger than your Messiah, you should worry. When your giant is bigger than your Jehovah, you should worry. But let me tell you this today, your Jehovah is bigger than your giant. Your God is bigger than your problem. That God is the giant slayer, that God is the mountain mover. And lots of us, we carry this worry and like, oh God, I'm not sure about the health thing, the cancer, the sickness, the disease, my kids. Oh God, I'm not sure about this. And we lose perspective on how big the problem is. It may seem big to us, but I got good news for you. God is always bigger. And we have to get back to that place of understanding that the size of our problem is always smaller than the size of our God. Always, without a doubt. God is the one who parted the Red Sea. You think about that. Man, the Egyptians are about to come in and kill all the Israelites there in the desert. Man, what should we do? We're trapped. We're never going to be able to escape from this. God says, wow, that looks like a big problem. Bam, Red Sea. And in an instant, it's changed. Because God has a way of making a way where there is no way. And some of you need to hear that because you think like, I can't get out of this situation. I don't know how this situation is ever going to get changed, how the situation is ever going to be redeemed. God is in the business of making a way where there is no way. God is the one who parted the Red Sea with a staff and a hollow leader in Moses. God is the one who took down a giant with a rock and a teenager. You know what I'm saying? This guy was intimidating the entire army of Israel, and a teenager with a rock said, oh, yeah, I took out the lion and the bear. This guy's going to be the same. Because he had a perspective that the size of his giant is smaller than the size of his Jehovah. His problem was always smaller than the size of his God. And guys, I know we have friends who can hold our hand on the deathbed, but we have a shepherd who has conquered the grave. We have astronomers who look up into the sky at the stars, but we have a shepherd who put the stars there. We have philosophers who debate about the meaning of life, but we have a shepherd who created life. We're sitting there worrying about storms. Our God, our shepherd, is the one who calms the storms, who walks on the water in the midst of the storms, who calls us out onto the water in the midst of the storm. The cancer is not too big for him, and the cemetery is not the end for him. And your problem is always beneath the feet of Jesus Christ, the one who has the name that is above every name. And that's the perspective that we have to get today, that at the name of Jesus, every knee will bow and every tongue confess him, Lord. At the name of Jesus, all your problems have to flee. At the name of Jesus, he even says this, the mountains are cast into the sea. Man, we need to get awakened to that because we worry. God, I'm not sure about the bills. God's like, you're worried about bills? I gave these dudes trillions of quail. Think I can't pay $100 or $1,000 or $50,000 or $1 million? You think that's too big for me? God, I mean, the Psalms are full of it. He's the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. It's all his anyways. You think that he can't just create something? You think he can't change your moment in an instant? He is in the business of making a way where there is no way because the size of our God is always bigger than the size of our problem. And we need to wake up to that. And when you wake up to that, the worries begin to fade away. Because if the Lord is my shepherd, and I have a good shepherd, and I have a really strong shepherd, I will not worry. I will not worry.